Hi guys, and welcome to my showcase and tutorial for World Buffs. World Buffs is a plugin that allows for the creation of server-wide quests, allowing for players to work together to complete a common goal. Quests are made up of a number of individual tasks and will reward the entire server for their efforts, regardless of whether the player was online or offline when the quest was completed. There are a number of reward options, such as gather yield bonuses, extra damage bonuses, defense bonuses, and the plugin even supports permissions and commands. The plugin will also apply these bonuses and permissions for all players on the server to enjoy, and will automatically remove them when the reward expires. So the way it works is you can see up here, I've got the little icon. When I click it, it expands and shows the current quest. So I can keep that open or I can close it. If I want to see what the rewards are for this quest, I can click here, and you can see I've got wood gather bonus for plus 100% for a 24-hour period. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to crank up my trusty chainsaw, and we're going to complete this quest. Now you can see here, it's not updating every single game tick. It's going to update every few seconds just to save on server performance. But you can see here, I've now got another new icon, which shows me my active buffs. So these are the buffs that I get for having this quest done. So you can see I've basically got an extra 100% wood yield from that tree. I can also see, I had two of them going at the same time. You can see I've now got another one called Deep Core Excavation, which is the next quest. So you've got the ability to basically queue up quests if you want to, or you can just have them, you can manually run them via a command if you would prefer. But you can see here this one is mining. It's a much larger value. The first one was only 1,000 because I wanted to test it, but this one requires mining of 100,000 individual pieces of ore. So for example, if I spawn some stone ore here, you can see this one will contribute. I can spawn some metal ore. This one also contributes. I can do show you some sulfur ore here. This one also contributes. So there are a number of different task types. You've got woodcutting, mining, skinning, killing an NPC, killing an NPC spawn, which is from the NPC spawn plugin, killing an animal, collecting a collectible, collecting a growable, like your hemp and your potatoes, catching fish, killing Bradley, looting crates, destroying barrels, and digging up treasure with the metal detector. And there's a number of reward types that you get for completing these quests as well. You can see here, obviously, there's wood gather bonus, there's also mining gather bonus, skinning gather bonus, there's fishing bonuses, NPC damage bonuses, NPC spawn damage bonuses, animal damage bonuses, PvP damage bonuses, scientists, NPC spawn animal, and PvP defense bonuses, universal card swipe bonus, which basically allows for any card to be swiped in any card reader, XP bonuses, which requires a skill tree plugin, Bradley damage bonuses and Bradley defense bonuses, collectible yield and growable yields are what's currently supported. So I do intend to add more things as the plugin progresses. But there are a number of commands you can also run with this plugin as well. So for example, I could do in chat wb.toggle. If a player wants to kind of not opt in and see what's happening with the quest, they can turn this on and off. There's also a number of console commands as well. So what I can do is I can actually set the task queue index. So if I run this command here, you can see this is the order on which the quests are going to basically play out. So we've done Lumberjack's Legacy, we've done Deep Core Expedition, we've got Hunter's Blood Oath, which is coming up next, the Culling, Master Angler, that sort of thing. So what I can do is I can either run using the arguments here, so I can run wb set task queue index, the value, and then I can set whatever value I want. So for example, if I want to skip Hunter's Blood Oath and go directly to the Culling, I can say we'll set the Culling to 3, and then we'll hit wb.start next task. True. Oh, so I got to cancel first. Wb cancel task. True. So that's going to start the new one automatically. So you can see here that the quest is now removed, and after a short period of time, it's going to start the new quest, which is the Culling, which is just basically kill NPCs. After a few seconds, that's going to update to all players who have the quest open, and you can see I've killed an NPC and progressed the quest. The reward for this one here is we get damage bonuses and NPC damage bonuses and scientist defense bonuses. So take less damage from scientists when we complete this, and this lasts for 24 hours. And the beautiful thing with this is any player who jumps into the server, connects, whether they're a new player, whether they're an existing player, whether they contributed to the quest or not, they'll get the bonuses for the full period of time. So it'll give them permissions when they connect, and obviously they'll be able to get all of the gather bonuses and whatnot if this is an active quest, active buff. Cool. So yeah, as I mentioned before, you can make quests with any number of tasks. So what I can do is I'll jump into the config and I'll run you through exactly how to create your own quests and how to set them up with whatever parameters you like. Okay, so jumping into the configuration for world buffs, we can see here there's a number of settings, and we'll take them sort of line by line. So under general settings, we have the group name that the permissions are rewarded to. So by default, we have the default Oxide group, and these are Oxide groups. And they're basically just when you add permissions as rewards to for completing a quest, what Oxide group the permission is going to be attached to. How often should we send the updated UI to players with the task open? So that's that, those few seconds delay after I would kill a scientist or mine some stone or cut some wood. The higher number has more server performance because obviously sending the UI to players less and less, but it's only going to send the UI update to players who actually have the UI open. The task queue settings, by default this is actually set to false, so it won't automatically start the tasks. But these are the default tasks that come with the plugin, or the default quests, sorry. So we can see Lumberjack Legacy, which is the one that I was woodcutting there. Deep Core Expedition was the mining one. Hunter's Blood Oath was killing animals. The Culling was killing scientists, etc., etc. So you can create any number of these and add any number of them to a task queue. And if you choose to use the task queue, when the previous task gets finished, it'll automatically start the next task. However, if you want to run tasks manually or have another plugin handle, so quest creation, then you can leave that as false and then start them manually if you'd like, just via a console command. The UI settings here is basically the width of the scroll bar, because all of the elements are scrollable. So if there's a number of obviously quests as you saw, so a number of quest rewards as you saw, it'll sort of keep them as like a scrollable element. So you can set the bar visibility there. This is the anchor positions for the actual icon, and then the menu anchor settings itself. So adjust those as required. List of tasks. So you can see here now we've got the actual tasks, or the quests. Sorry, I'm going to use quests and tasks interchangeably, but effectively a quest is a number of different tasks. So you can see here we've got how many minutes. So you can create a new quest by basically copying what's already here, and then copy and pasting it with a new name. So you can name this whatever you like. How many minutes, and this will also create a language entry as well. So you can will support lang support once you've loaded it once. How many minutes do players have to complete the task before it expires? By default is 1440, which I think was 24 hours. Object type is woodcutting, so objective type, which is woodcutting, and there's I'll put a list of different objective types that you can use on the main plugin page, as well as the identifiers that will work with that plugin. So you can see a list of short names, display names, identifiers to qualify. Empty, null, or was it empty or null? Should be or not of. Means no qualifiers are required. So basically, if you want to restrict it, so for example, woodcutting, only wood contributes to woodcutting, you can put wood there, or you can just say, we don't want to have a qualifier, so we're just going to set this to null, which means anything that comes out of a tree is going to contribute to woodcutting, to the woodcutting bonus. And then you've got the target amount here, which I think by default was like 10,000 or 100,000. So you could set whatever value you like. Now, that's you can have any number of these, which I'll show you in a couple of examples below. But you can see we've got the rewards here. How long should the bonuses and permissions exist for? How many minutes? Again, 1440 is 24 hours. Bonuses, you can see woodcutting wood gather bonus, and this also allows you to add the identifier in here as well. So for example, if you only want to allow extra damage to specific types of scientists, or increased gather yield from particular types of rocks, for instance, you can add your own items into here, which I'll show you a little bit further below. Permissions, list of permissions to provide all players, permission description. So basically you've got the permission on the left hand value and the description on the right hand value. So for example, if I want to give myself, allow players to use the cooking plugin after completing this quest, for instance, allows access to the cooking plugin. That's an example of how you would create a permission. Now commands work a little bit differently. They weren't originally supported, but they were requested to be added. So commands will only fire for players who are currently online when the quest is completed. So just keep that in mind. That may change down the track, but that's how it works currently. Functionally, it's the same thing. So you can do like give item, I don't know, rifle.ak, and then gives you an AK. That's functionally the same way. So it's a dictionary, so it uses a string as the key, and then the description is the value. So looking at something a little bit more juicy here, as you can see, we've got, let me find something that actually has multiple tasks. Here we go. So Warriors Trial. So you can see here we've got kill NPCs. The list is currently set to null, which means any NPC will contribute to this, like any human NPC will contribute to this task. Kill animal is again null, but for example, if we only wanted chickens, so this is a list, so if we only wanted chickens to contribute to this list, what we would do is we'd say we'd add chicken in there. So I'm pretty sure the short prefab name for chicken is just chicken. Or if we wanted to add bear as well, we could do bear, because that's a short prefab name for a bear. And then we've got the target amount here, and then kill Bradley APC. There's not really multiple variants of Bradley, so the qualifier for this would probably always be null. Now, for example, if we wanted to only give PvP damage bonus, sorry, again, not a great example, let me get Nature's Gift here. So for example, if we only want to give a collective yield for a certain type of item, for instance, so I only want to give bonus yields for cloth, for collectible, which means anytime a player collects hemp, they'll get 100% yield, which is what 1.0 modifier means. But it'll only be for cloth. Anything else they collect, they won't get any bonuses for. So again, you can get quite granular with how you create these tasks or these quests. But that's the long and short of it. So yeah, quite powerful in terms of how you can create and customize your own quests and rewards. I think your players will love it. But if you have any questions, any feedback, any suggestions, as always, feel free to get in touch with me on Discord. And I hope you guys enjoy. Cheers.